Hi, and greetings from Los Cabos. So, I have fully embraced the international life, and in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you the top 3 reasons why I've chosen to do that. Reason number 1. First of all, when you look beyond your home borders, you find opportunity for profit that far surpasses the opportunities back home. We are living in very, very fragile, very turbulent times. Unemployment is at an all-time high. There is grave uncertainty about what the next 3 and 4 months looks like domestically and beyond. But there are places that you can look to. There are places you can put your money, and I'm talking places like Uruguay, places like Tulum, places like Panama, that are set to do extremely well, not only despite of the crisis back home, but in many instances because of this work from home trend is driving people to these places. These are internationalized places that are a net beneficiary of all this fragility and all this uncertainty. And in a very positive scenario of things rebounding back home, these are vacation destinations. These are places that are going to do well irrespective of what happens back home. So I get much more upside, I can buy cheaper, rental yields are much higher, and I just don't have to deal with this huge uncertainty of the situation back home. Reason number 2, by looking beyond your home borders, you can dramatically cut your cost of living. You can put yourself in some of the world's most beautiful and luxurious locales, and you can cut your cost of living by 30%, 60%, even 70%. So even here in Los Cabos, which is one of the most expensive destinations in Mexico, maybe the most expensive place in Mexico, full stop, many of my costs here are still half of what they'd be in the States. Looking in other destinations, looking in places like France and Spain, you can live in beautiful locations. You can live in places where your holding costs on real estate are virtually zero. You can live in places where you can get a lunch with wine for $5, $6, $7. What you pay back home, you can just cut that. You can get much higher quality and pay much less when you look internationally. So the big idea here is look for places that treat your money better. Look for places that treat you better. And then finally, and the third big idea is look for places where you get to keep a lot more of your money. So when you embrace the international life, you no longer become necessarily tied to one tax jurisdiction. You can organize yourself in a way that dramatically reduces your tax liability. Now, of course, Americans have their worldwide tax liability, but that notwithstanding, there's the deductions that you can make that will allow you, by organizing yourself as a Portugal resident or an Uruguay resident or a Panama resident, you can dramatically cut your tax budget. So there you go. Look for places that treat your money the best. Look for places that treat you best. For me, that's ready availability of great food, great golf, and places where I never have to put on the heating or cooling. Places where, my evenings are just like this. I have a comfortable shirt on. It's pleasant to walk, but midday it's warm and cool weather. And finally, look for places where you get to keep a lot more of your money. And there you have it. For me, that means dividing my time between 3 bases, between Mexico and Portugal, and then I spend my summer vacation time in Ireland. I get to dramatically cut my tax liability. I get to buy real estate like here that throws off income when I'm not using it, and I get to be in places where I never have to put on the heating or cooling. So there you have it, 3 top reasons.